Hello everyone, and welcome back to Old Charles. Today, we're diving deep into the history, design, and value of a fascinating coin, the Australian 10-cent coin from 1972. This is not just a piece of metal, it's a part of Australia's monetary history that still excites collectors around the world. So, if you're interested in coin collecting, numismatics, or just love exploring the value of old coins, stay with me till the end because you might be surprised at how much this little coin can be worth today. The Australian 10-cent coin was first introduced in 1966, when Australia made the historic switch from the old pound, shilling, and pence system to a decimal currency system. The 10-cent replaced the old 1 shilling coin in value, meaning that Australians who once used shillings suddenly found themselves with a shiny new decimal coin in their hands. The 1972 issue is especially interesting. During the early 1970s, Australia's economy was going through changes, with fluctuations in demand for coinage. Unlike other years where millions of 10-cent coins were struck, the 1972 mintage was very low compared to surrounding years. This makes it much harder to find today, especially in uncirculated or mint condition. For coin collectors, low mintage equals rarity, and rarity usually means higher value. Now let's talk about the design. On the obverse side, the front of the coin, you'll find the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This portrait was used on Australian coins from 1966 until 1984. It's a classic image of a young queen wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. On the reverse side, the back of the coin, we see the iconic lyrebird, a bird native to Australia, known for its incredible ability to mimic natural and artificial sounds. This design was created by the famous sculptor Stuart Devlin, who was often called the coin designer of the Commonwealth. The detail in the feathers of the lyrebird is truly remarkable, especially when you look at a well-preserved coin. The real story of the 1972 Australian 10-cent coin lies in its mintage. Only about 20 million were minted, which is significantly less than other years like 1966 where over 80 million coins were struck. Because of this, collectors consider the 1972 10-cent piece to be a key date in the series. Finding one in everyday pocket change today is extremely rare. Most of the surviving coins are well circulated and show heavy wear. Uncirculated examples are much more valuable and often sell for impressive amounts at auctions or in coin shops. So, how much is this coin worth today in circulated condition, the type you might find in change, worn and used? The 1972 10-cent coin is usually valued between $2 and $10 AUD, depending on wear. In better grades, such as very fine to extremely fine, it can fetch around $15 to $30 Australian dollars in uncirculated condition. Coins that were never used and still look brand new, prices can climb to $70, $100, or even higher, depending on quality. Some coins graded by professional grading services, with top marks like MS65 or MS66, have sold for hundreds of dollars. For such a small coin, that's an impressive jump in value. When it comes to coins, condition is everything. A heavily circulated 1972 10-cent coin might only be worth a few dollars, while a pristine, uncirculated example can be worth 50 times more. Collectors always look for coins with clear detail on the Queen's portrait and the lyrebird, as well as coins with minimal scratches, no damage, and a strong strike. If you happen to find one in your change, don't overlook it. Even a circulated example is more valuable than face value. And if you're lucky enough to have one in mint state, you might just be holding a little treasure. The Australian 10-cent coin from 1972 is a small but mighty piece of history. With its beautiful design, low mintage, and increasing collector demand, continues to rise in value year after year. So next time you come across some old Australian coins, keep your eyes open for the 1972 10-cent. It might just be worth a lot more than you think. The story of the Australian 10-cent coin begins in 1966, when Australia made one of the most important financial shifts in its history, the move from the old pounds, shillings, and pence system to a modern decimal currency system. This transition happened on 14 February 1966, a day that became known as C-Day, or asterisk changeover day before 1966, Australians used coins like the shilling, florin, and penny. But after the changeover, these were replaced with cents and dollars. The 10-cent coin was introduced as part of this new system, and it directly replaced the 1 shilling coin in value. This meant that 1 shilling in the old money was now worth 10 cents in the new decimal system. The coin's design was entrusted to Stuart Devlin, a renowned Australian goldsmith and jeweller, who was later nicknamed the designer of coins for his work across the Commonwealth. Devlin chose the superb lyrebird, one of Australia's most unique native birds, for the reverse design. Known for its beautiful tail feathers and its incredible ability to mimic sounds from the environment, the lyrebird symbolized Australian wildlife in a way no other bird could. On the obverse side, the coin featured the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by Arnold Machin, a British sculptor. This portrait, introduced in the mid-1960s, showed a young queen wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara and was used on Australian coins from 1966 until 1984. When we move specifically to the year 1972, we find something quite special. That year, the Royal Australian Mint produced far fewer 10-cent coins compared to earlier years. Only around 20 million coins were struck in 1972, a sharp drop compared to the massive 80+ million minted in 1966 and other surrounding years. This lower production made the 1972 issue a much scarcer coin in circulation. The early 1970s were also a period of economic and social change in Australia. Inflation was rising, international currency values were fluctuating, and the demand for certain denominations of coins shifted. Because of these factors, the 1972 10-cent coin became what collectors call a key date in the Australian decimal coin series, not the rarest coin ever, but one of the harder ones to find in good condition. Over the decades, most of these coins circulated heavily in daily use. They passed through countless hands in shops, buses, and banks, losing their shine and fine details. But today, if you come across a well-preserved 1972 10-cent coin, you're holding a piece of history that tells the story of Australia's transition to decimal money, its economy in the 1970s, and the artistry of one of its greatest coin designers. When we talk about the value of the 1972 Australian 10-cent coin, one of the most important factors is condition. A coin's condition can make the difference between it being worth only a few cents more than face value, or hundreds of dollars to the right collector. Collectors use a system called coin grading to judge the quality of a coin. Let's break it down step by step for the 1972 10-cent piece. Most 1972 10-cent coins that you find today are in circulated condition. That means they were used for everyday transactions over decades, buying groceries, paying for tickets, or just jingling around in pockets and purses. Circulated coins often show worn surfaces ***, especially on the Queen's portrait and the lyrebird's feathers, scratches or nicks *** from contact with other coins, loss of shine ***, as the natural luster has faded away. A circulated 1972 coin might still be collectible because of its lower